at this, but some of you did. And when I post about this, like, you get people that are like, well, they're ignorant. They don't really understand. And what they're referring to is my posts. I do weekly posts, sometimes daily, where I make it abundantly clear that if you advocate a government vaccine mandate, so whatever way that shows itself, a direct mandate, passport, whatever it is, you are a piece of shit. Okay? You are an absolute piece of shit. See, I'm under definitely considering what happened over the last year and a half, I'm under no requirement. Nobody else is under any requirement to try to pretend like these are good people. Right? They don't have redeeming qualities. They're bad people, objectively speaking. If you think that it is okay for the government to force people to get something injected in their body in order for them to do whatever the hell it is that they want with other people, consenting adults, you are a piece of absolute fucking trash. There's no redeeming quality about you in that regard. Objectively speaking, you are a bad person. Okay? You are a bad person. What they have tried to do is act like this is the war of like the, some sort of equal war. There's the footings equal and all the parties involved are just as like culpable. And that's not what's happening here, right? You have one side that is trying to force their ideals upon the other. The other is not. So whether it be with masks, vaccines, we're not advocating, and those like myself are not advocating that you be forced to, let's say, not cover your face. Like, I'm not asking the government to have a law that says you can't cover your face. I'm not asking the government to have a law that says you can't get vaccinated, mandate, whatever. That's not what I'm doing. On the other hand, that's what you guys are doing. This isn't like some equal thing. One side just wants to be left alone and wants people to have the choice and the freedom of that. You, on the other hand, are authoritarian little rat fuck. And that's what you try to present yourself. The humanitarian is more so what it is, right? But you're a piece of shit, right? A piece of garbage. These people are bad, okay? Yes, I get it. Some of these guys are your mothers, your fathers, your cousins, your uncles, brothers, sisters, aunties that are advocating for this type of stuff because, hey, it saves lives. It's about saving lives. This is why you should be forced to get injected with something. It's about saving lives. Oh, that sounds great and fantastic, but at the end of the day, you're talking about injecting someone with something into their body, an experimental vaccine, okay? Experimental. Language gets to changing, right? This is how conniving or rather slick these bastards think they are, where you can even get the COVID-19 vaccine. But if you are against, let's say, vaccine mandates, you are now anti-vaxxer, according to them. There's only one allowable position. And meanwhile, all around the country, you got what effectively are COVID concentration camps and being built in places like Australia. You have police beating up on folks in different sides of the world, more so like Canada and France, and all sorts of conflict that is happening from people that are simply advocating that folks be free to assume whatever risk it is that they want to assume. And then we continue to get more information that comes out about this vaccine and its effectiveness, the increased rates, definitely in young men with myocarditis and pericarditis and these heart inflammation issues that they're increasing their risk somewhere for the sake of lowering it, I guess, somewhere else, even though it's only like a 99% chance that they'll survive in the event that these young people and these health demographics get this vaccine, yet they still expect you to just get it injected into you just because reasons, things that we've never, look, these guys have no redeeming qualities, and there's no reason to sit here and pretend like they aren't bad people. These are bad people. Now, yes, they control media and they get control of, like, with social media, controlling trending topics, all of fear mongering and all of that, which is position themselves in a great spot because, yeah, they get to present themselves as the good guys. But when you understand what it is that they're advocating at the end of the day, and that's you be forced to inject something into your body if you want to do something, if you want to, your kid wants to go to school, or you want your kid to go to school, rather, you want to have a business, a private property that you own, but you house people, or rather they congregate, whether it be you got a restaurant or whatever it is that you have, and they're saying that you must force your patrons and employees to get a jab, right? It'd be one thing if this was completely absent of government, right? Meaning that not by way of pressure, not by way of government grants or anything like that. If the businesses on their own said, well, I want to require my patrons and employees to have the jab. That's one thing. And you may disagree with me, but again, that's neither here nor there, because I'm not wrong on this. When it comes to what private property rights are about, that private business owner on their property can enforce whatever fucking rule. If they said in order to for you to shop here, you must be able to hold a handstand for 10 seconds. I might think that's the dumbest fucking thing to do. However, that's their right to do that, right? But that's not what we have. That's not what a government vaccine mandate is. The government vaccine mandate is a one size fits all that is applied to a multitude of different industries. It's what you see with New York City, where you have, it's just sweeping. It's so many different avenues, industries that have to enforce these nonsensical mandates, and they get punished in the event that if people are congregating in their places of business and like they're not requiring employees to have vaccines, or they're not checking for vaccines and stuff like that's a completely different animal for some private institution on their own free will coming to that conclusion. But that's not what you want, right? These assholes don't want that. The person that advocates for government vaccine mandates doesn't want choice. What they want is obedience. What they want is control. What they want is to impose their will on other people. And they've done a fantastic job, to give them credit, in positioning themselves as to being the good guys. But there's no sense of pretending. There's no redeeming quality about them. So when I say that, I'm not saying that for like drama bait or something like that. When I say that they're a piece of shit, no, they are pieces of shit. And I genuinely believe that, because that's exactly what they are. Pieces of shit. They're bad people objectively. Some of them are in government. Some of them are not in government, or rather advocate that the government do this. These people are not good. They're bad people. They're bad people. And again, when it, like with the virus, like you're still sort of learning more about it. When you see that, like we're talking about in the store today, in certain pockets where on an upward of 40% of their cases or hospitalizations or whatever it was are breakthrough cases. It ain't much of a breakthrough anymore. It's almost as if this jab that you're trying to force people to get does not result in what you said was going to happen. Whether it be with basically stopping the infection or stopping the spread, that hadn't happened. And because you never had the long-term trials, you would have maybe been able to pick that up. But that's no. You're just an irrational person in the event that you say, I'm going to wait this out. This has a 99% survival rate. I'm healthy. I'm going to wait this out. If something happens to me, oh, well, that's the risk that I'm willing to assume. So stop pretending otherwise. These people are bad. These people are bad. Objectively speaking, they are bad people trying to present themselves as good. And they, like most abusers do stuff like lockdowns and other things while they're beating up on you, basically saying, why you're making me do this. You're making me do this. They are abusers, control freaks. There's no reason to pretend otherwise. They're bad. Treat them as such.
You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.